What up, mathlinks? Whoop whoop! All right, this is 3.2 functions, and your learning target is I will determine if a relation is a function. Ready, set, go. Let's do this. Go ahead and take a minute. Name the ordered pair of each point indicated over here. I'm gonna take a drink of coffee again. This whole lesson, I'm assuming you paused it at times to be able to write down what I've gone through to catch up, because I go through a lot of stuff fairly quickly. Let's do this. Yummy. Okay, so looking at it, point E is right here, right on the line, so that's going to be -4, 0, because it's -4 in the x direction and 0 in the y. F is -5 and then -5, so -5, -5. We're looking for G, which is right here, so that's 0 on the x, but up 4 on the y. H is right here. Okay, so let's look. So notice each tick mark is 1, 2, 3. So this is in between 2 and 3. So I would say that's 2.5 on the x. And then down 1, 2, 3, and then about a half. So -3.5 on the y. That's how we do it. I had to guess a little bit. It's not exact. And then last of all, J is over 3, up 3. 3. All right, let's go ahead and go to some slides. Okay, so take a minute, write down the words and the examples. So what does it say? A function is a relation in which each element of the domain is paired with exactly one element of the range. And then right here, domain. We see we have a domain of -6, -3, 1, and 4. And a range of 8, 5, 0, -2, and each one's mapped to that. So -6 maps to 8, -3 maps to 5, 1 maps to 0, and 4 maps to 2. And if we graph it, look at this graph. It creates kind of this crazy curvy graph that is also a function. And we're going to talk about why from the graph level it's a function. So again, pause this, write it down. Let's move on. All right, I want to talk about the vertical line test. Just graphically, if we want to determine if something's a function, all we have to do is draw a vertical line. What do I mean by that? Literally, draw a line. As long as it hits the function once, what that tells us is that at that value of x, there's only one possible y value. So no matter where I draw this vertical line, boom. On the other hand, over here, look at this function. If I draw that vertical line, I'm hitting twice. That means at x equals 2, I might get a y of about 1.75, and I might get a y of about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So I have two choices there. So at all these spots, if I put in 1x, I have the possibility of 2 y's. That's not a function. That's like if you were to push a button on a soda machine that said Pepsi, and it might spit out a Pepsi, but it might spit out a Dr. Pepper. I'm not a huge Dr. Pepper fan. That would make me angry. So that's why it's not a function. That's not a properly operating soda machine. There we go. So let's clear that out. And let's go back to our actual page right here. So again, you should have this all filled out here. I'll put it there for you. Boosh right there. And let's go ahead and run the vertical line test on all of these to see if it's a function or not a function. Yep, it's a function. Only hits once, no matter where I draw that line. So it's a function. Over here, it curves, but no matter where I draw this vertical line, it only hits once. It's a function. Look at this circle. Pretty much everywhere I draw it, it's hitting twice. Not a function. And last, this is actually the graph of an absolute value problem. You see it's what k of x equals the absolute value of 2x minus 4. So yes, it's a function. Only hits once each time. Okay? Awesome. Let's go ahead and get moving on below. And let's fill in these lines. If a vertical line hits the graph more than one time, then it is not a function. That vertical line test is nice Just a nice, simple thing. Anytime you see a graph, run that vertical line and you know. Especially on your homework, it makes it easy. Okay, last but not least, it says, is it a function? And let's look down here. Well, how we tell for mapping, now we see the vertical line test for a graph, that's easy. Mapping, how it looks is right here. See how this 3 could give me a 5 or a 0? Well, since that's an either or from 1x, this is not a function. Look over here. Boom. Now, I can have -2 give me 8, and I can have 0 give me 8. That's fine. That's just like having more than one button that dishes out a Pepsi. That's okay. What I can't have is a button that dishes out a Pepsi or a Dr. Pepper, like this one right here. It's an either or. More than one going to the same Y is fine, but I can only have one arrow coming from each X. See how that works? So this is, yes, a function. Now again right here, first thing I'm going to look for, are there any repeat X's? Yes, there are. The ones. And this one either gives a 4 or it gives a 9. Now if this would have said 1 and 4 again, that's fine. But because the 1 gives 2 different Y values, this is not a function. Last but not least, let's look. Are there any repeat X's? Remember, domain is X. No repeats. Boom. Since there's no repeat X's, doesn't matter what the Y's are. No repeat X's means yes, it is a function. See how nice that is, guys? Okay.